Good morning, class. I am Leyva and I am your instructor for today's lesson. So, are you familiar with prime numbers? I'm sure you are because today that is our topic all about. So, let's start our discussion. By definition, prime numbers are the set of all numbers that can be equally divided by 1 and themselves, with no other even division possible. And then the first prime number is 2, since 1, despite being divisible by 1 and itself, it cannot be a prime number since we need here a 2 natural number. So that is why 1 is not part of the group. And here are the list of prime numbers under 1000. Prime numbers have special properties for factorization. And what is that? One of those is that while it is relatively easy to find greater prime numbers, factoring enormous numbers back into prime is not that easy. For example, we can already get that 20 is 2 times 2 times 5. But how about numbers like 2,244,354? It can take us quite some time to figure out that it is 2 times 3 times 7 times 53,437. Now, let's move forward to prime factorization, which is a way of expressing a number as a product of its prime factors. For example, in 12, we can say that its factor is 2 and 6, but we can also use other factor like 3 and 4. It doesn't matter since at the end, we will get the same answer. So, let's back. In prime factorization, we need to use only prime numbers. So, then we need to factor 6 since it is not a prime number. And now that we are left with all prime numbers, we can end the factorization here and we have now the answer of 2 times 2 times 3. As you can see, this way or method that we use is called a factor tree. And next, we will try to use the repeated division. For example, 84. Since 84 is an even number, we can divide it by 2. And in repeated division, we only use smaller prime numbers if possible. So, 84 divided by 2 is 42. And since 42 is also an even number, we can also divide it by 2. And now that we are left with an odd number, the prime number that we can divide it by is 3. So, 21 divided by 3 is 7. And we need to divide it by 7 so we can get the answer of 1. Now that we have the answer of 1, we can now list all the divisor that we use because that is our prime factors of this number 84. Did you know that mathematicians have claimed that developing a really efficient formula for factoring huge integers into primes is impossible? But as the time goes by, we are also developing, so we are not certain. And perhaps one of you might develop something similar in the future. So now, what are the use of prime numbers in real life? There are dozens of important use for prime numbers. Like, do you know the animal cicadas? They are from North America that appear periodically but only emerge after a prime number of years. And next example is there are modern screens use them to define color intensities of pixels. Also, logging into your bank account. We are constantly using computer encryption, which means we are using prime numbers. Now, you grab some pen and paper and try to answer this activity on your own. And here is the answer key, and check on your own if you got it right. So, that's all for today's lesson. Thank you for watching and I hope you've learned something. Bye!